and this fast delivery seems crazy fast. Can't wait until the first static fire. Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is what we've been talking about, the prop loading on pad 2. And this is something, Ryan, we'll see with 39A, won't we? It's the same system. Pad 2 is the same what they're building on 39A and 37.
Well, the pad itself is the same. The tank farm's going to be a little bit different. They'll have slightly different tanks. And the pressurization systems will be a little bit newer.
We'll see with 39A.
The systems are a little bit different, plus the subcoolers. So it's not the exact same, but we should definitely be seeing the same load times overall. So I would still expect 30-minute load times unless they found a way to improve on it even more at 39A, which, considering the size of the subcoolers that they have at that pad, there's a non-zero chance they go faster than 30 minutes. But I will hold that to wait for when they actually do a tanking test on that pad. So,
very good. Alex, I think we're getting to the point in the uploading where I'm expecting an ooh, ooh, ooh from you at any moment. So please do, because I'll go long-winded on some answer sometime, or some question, or some point I want to make. And I require, Alex, is it, was that an ooh, ooh, ooh?
No, I was going to say, like, the next thing we'll see is, like, as soon as the liquid oxygen load is complete, that will be approximately also when liquid methane will be complete, and then we'll see from sort of here, more or less, there'll be vents from the launch mount structure, the service structure there, to the right of the launch mount from this view. Well, they'll do purges of some of the systems inside there, and so that'll be right after propellant load is complete. And usually that takes like a couple of minutes before the expected or simulated T0 for the test. What will happen during that T0, we have no idea. The next thing after those vents will be, of course, looking for the detonation suppression system, aka DSS, right? And whether they've, if they start the deluge system, I'll be interested to see what happens on that flame trench, right? Because yeah.
We're at this, based off timings, we're like 4 minutes or so away from prop load finish or less.
Yeah.
And the methane has been about 2 rings the last few times. So unless they're going to load it a lot quicker, this might be a little bit lower load on the methane. Like 1 less ring, almost. But we'll see where it stops. I'm trying to remember if it was more than this before, but I might be misremembering off the top of my head here.
There's also some other possibilities. This is a long test window they've got, and they've started right at the start. They've got it prop loaded now. They could easily do a test now and then de-tank, and everyone goes, oh, that's it for the day. But no, they've got plenty of time to recycle, then prop load it again, then static fire it today. They could easily do that, couldn't they, Alex?
Yeah, in theory, they could try later on, because this window goes all the way to 8 p.m. We're barely on the first 2 hours of the window, right? So, yeah, plenty of time. That's for sure. Wow.
Right. We're keeping a close eye on the booster. We are not just talking over it. We're all watching it along with you. I've literally got 2 windows with both the live feed, which is the production feed, and the actual YouTube feed with the chat on the right-hand side. I'm literally watching along with you all. So, we are keeping a close eye on the booster. But I would be remiss not to continue to thank people, because you can see at the top, chat, you can see at the top, it's all coming in at the top. I'm like, can you imagine if I ignored that? That'd be terrible. That'd be rude, to say the least. So I'm making sure I thank everybody for it. His doppelganger, that's a great username, gifted 5 Red Team memberships. Domino became a Red Team member. JSTTOBOAS, I can't pronounce it, has become a Capcom member, which means you've got access to our member Discord as well, which is a fun place that I spend way too much time in. Wilbur Baggins, well said, Chris. We're all learning this new thing together, everything new together. I butchered that, Wilbur. I'll put it on screen. Kine said, are you going to cover Spectrum launch next week? I might drive over from Finland to see our first rocket launch. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to leak anything, so I'll just say watch this space. That's probably just giving it away. Willie, do you think... Oh, that's a massive super chat, by the way, Willie. Thank you very much for your support. Do you think while they are updating Pad 1 that SpaceX will prepare tower for fitting for the human axis arm, so crew axis arm at Starbase? Ryan, do you think we're way off that yet, aren't we? 'Cause
Oh,
they're not
we
gonna get crew
are-
launching for years.
We are way off needing a crew access arm. I think the first pad that'll get it'll be 39A, but there is no indication that any of these launch towers are going to be fitted with a crew access arm at any point soon. The towers would need a significant modification in a location in order to do it. And the question becomes, is your crewed Starship going to be Block 3 or Block 4? It's going to be Block 4. The crew access arm is going to have to be taller than it would be for Block 3, so why put it on now? I think we're a ways away from anything like that.
Yep. This is a good question, Alex. Marcus wants to know how many centimeters or inches.
Oh, here we go. Vent drain lines out of the.
Oh, Ryan, what does that mean then? Timeline.
Drain lines means we are really, really close to any T0 here.
Oh lordy.
So.
Right. Let me get my Bandicam ready.
Yeah.
For those who don't know,
lines out of the.
when you see little video clips on my X feed, it's literally Bandicam. I swear by it. It's a great little program. I'm not sponsored by it.
Let's see if
now the perch
DSS
band will not be able to. It will not allow Naus to see the underside.
Right.
But yeah, that's the perch fan that I talked about. I was hearing the pumps sort of slow down and sort of like stopped, and then now this. So now we will wait to see if there's any activation of the detonation suppression system. If they fire the deluge water as well, that will be quite interesting. But yeah, we can see there's like a tape as well at the end of the flame trench.
The
Really
crazy
funny if
thing,
they actually.
I
Go
know
ahead.
the crazy thing is if they do static fire it. Sorry, Alex. If they do static fire it, then we can get on with our Sunday, can't we? That'll be
Yeah.
it.
Oh, DSS.
There we go.
Wow.
Let's see
what
what
they
happens.
do. Did I just?
Did I see a flash?
Did they just igniter test?
Yeah, maybe.
What?
I think they
What
just
was
did an
that?
igniter. I think that was igniters.
Just the igniters?
Yeah, I saw a flash out of the
I saw a
aftermath.
flash. Chat, did you
I
see a flash?
I think they just did igniters. That was weird.
Could it be? Could it have been a pre-burner test with DSS? Because we have never seen a pre-burner test
I
with
think
DSS.
If they did a 10-engine DSS, that would. If they did a 10-engine pre-burner, that'd be more than enough to overcome that DSS, I would think. And if they did that, they might even fire off the ridge cap just to have enough water. I think that was like an igniter test.
Yeah. I definitely saw a flash. And I was like, oh, they're going to static fire it. But then, obviously, the water deluge
see the
system wasn't
let's
firing,
see the
so there's no
replay.
way.
Would we see a flash? Oh, there we go.
Well,
I think that's the depress vent.
yeah, that's probably the depress. But my question would be, Alex, is we've never seen them do an igniter test on a Raptor-3. Did they change the igniters? How much did they change them? Because I think they did, but I just don't know how much they did or what they did to them. At least I don't remember.
Do we have an absolute to the second timestamp? Because I'm going back and pressing rewind on my VHS tape and I can't find it.
Around 9:47 thereabouts.
Oh, I need seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, around the top of the minute. That's,
right.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I'm
Around
rewinding the tape.
9:47:00.
Be kind, rewind.
Depends also on the camera.
Yeah,
No, TiVo.
I'm almost certain that was the igniters on all 10 engines. I'm almost certain that was, but I will say this: it's kind of interesting that they decided to do a closure and a practice load for that. Like,
Yeah.
so basically, what they've done with Booster 19 is they put it on the pad. They did a bunch of pressure testing. They then did test number 1, which was a full wet dress rehearsal for the static fire. So they loaded it, did the DSS, activated the deluge. So that was everything but including engine chill. Then they did a spin prime. They loaded the whole thing up, did a spin prime without deluge activation. Then they just loaded the whole thing up again and did an igniter test without deluge activation, which means tomorrow, if all the data checks out, they've already tested everything with the engines and tested all the loading, which means tomorrow they'll load the whole thing up, fire the whole thing off, and tomorrow is probably a 10-engine static fire.
Neat. Right, I've got the timestamp. Hang on. Keep talking, because I'm going to do a tweet, and I can't multitask at the same time as typing. Alex, your thoughts?
My thoughts right now, it's like, why would you load the booster for just testing the igniters? And also, I hadn't seen that the igniters actually, like, produced a visible flash like that. I don't recall, maybe, like, during like, Star Hopper era sort of thing, maybe? I don't even remember this being a thing back when.
Wow, that is a definite... At 9:46:52.
Yeah.
Is a flash out of the backside of the booster.
Yeah.
It's not a pre-burner test would have definitely left some residuals from the methane, even with the DSS running. But that's just a flash, and it's in an instant.
There we go. I've pinned it. Well, when I can press the pin thing. There we go. Pinned it.
I find it hilarious.
The full load, the reason why they did a full load is probably just to practice again, because, I mean, this is still only the third time they're loading a booster on this pad. So if you're gonna test the igniters and everything, you might as well just close the road, load the thing up, and test all the systems, right? Why not? I know in the past we've been able to hear the igniters off, but if them firing the igniters is a flash like that, that means anytime they need to test the igniters, they have to close the road at that point. They can't test them without closing it if it really is that much, because that's a flash. They cannot have Highway 4 open when they test those.
Right, and what's the risk? What's the risk? Let's say they kept the road open and did an igniter test. I mean, it's prop loaded, I suppose, so that's one thing. But, I mean, I'm assuming there's no risk. I mean, there could be a risk, couldn't there?
It could be sound. It could be. I mean, they could ignite and get a small fireball, or I don't know. Maybe that's why they're doing it. But imagine if there's just a bunch of people working over at Pad 1, or people driving down the road, and all of a sudden you get that bang and flash out of nowhere. Imagine this isn't like the smaller, igniters on block 1 and 2 where you needed to be relatively close to the pad to hear those. Imagine driving down Highway 4 and that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Got a burst tire.
Think they need to close. Yeah, right.
Oh my god. Right, so we're continuing to follow, because even if they start detanking now, that doesn't mean the end of testing for today. The signal we get from our experience covering these tests, goodness knows, it must be hundreds now of tests we've covered, is when the road reopens. That's the test. So we keep streaming, we keep talking, we have commentators lined up throughout the day, so we're covered on that one. And what we'll do is we'll keep watching this, because until a road opens, it's still game on. Yes, Alex?
Plus, we have the replays.
Oh,
Don't
replays.
we want to look at it again, right?
Yeah, it sounded like it was a single group, all 10 fired off at the same time. I think on SBL, if anyone was watching it, it sounded like 2 groups, but that might have been a delay between mics, depending on what mics were on.
Does that mean they're going to start all the engines at once?
Well, here's the other thing, is with the new size of the transfer tube and the way the plumbing is set up, they should have the flow rate capability to ignite all 33 at once. Because I know what they use. The reason why they don't do it, and this is a reason for almost every single rocket, is because you do it in groups to try to prevent issues with prop flow rate and all that jazz. But I don't know, that new transfer tube probably solves any of the fuel flow rate issues. With just methane, and you have access to the whole LOX tank, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they could fire off all 33 all at once in a single go. The booster could probably take or two that much thrust in an instant. I wouldn't be that surprised. And let's be honest. I mean, the banks of engine starts, if I can say words, from the last boosters were what, milliseconds apart. So, would it really be that much of a difference?
Well, on the previous boosters, it was like 2.8 seconds. So it was the first group of engines, then a second later the second group, and then 800 milliseconds later, or 0.8 seconds, the third and final group. It was 13, 15, 5.
Are we seeing any signs of detanking after this test?
They are. You can see the
Right.
frost going down on the locks. And let me stand by it. Let me check the methane, the large methane tanks.
By the way, you know, this is the exciting thing about this is, let's say they tank, and then the road remains closed. Then they start retanking it. That's, I think, when we get excited about the potential of static fire today. I would say to chat that would be genuine excitement. We are ready for replays with audio. Jay has typed in and misspelt it in big bold letters with audio. So replay time. Yeah, it's not breaking news, Jay. It's old news now in the business. In today's business, is old news now.
And by the way, they are
Okay.
detanking methane because the vent between the methane tanks is going. So that definitely indicates they're recondensing methane back at the tanks. So waiting for the DSS here.
Yeah, maybe we should.
We've rewound the tape too far.
Did we go back too far? What happened?
By the way, I do find the breaking news thing funny. I'm a big fan of Steve Luckner. I think he's got a real fun channel where he's like one-man band just doing breaking news. All the breaking news! Breaking news!
Ah, there we go. Back on track. It also starts like, what, 25 seconds before? 20 to 25?
Wait for the flash. There it is.
There you go.
Oh! Yeah. Lovely little igniter noise. See, if I had a soundboard, Alex, I'd be able to sort of like take that and use it. Well, there we go. I've got a soundboard, I haven't got the software.
That's
Moving
going to
on.
be my next notification
That-
sound.
Yeah.
That is not a. Yeah, that's not a torch igniter anymore. That sounds like an acoustic igniter with that sound.
Oh,
Wait, an
Ryan,
acoustic igniter?
what's an acoustic
Yeah.
igniter?
Basically, no moving parts. You generates high temperatures by running by passing supersonic gas through a resonator cavity. That's basically what it does. So
Oh.
you basically take high pressure. It'd probably be really, really high pressure.
Audio, Ryan.
Yeah, we'll listen here.
Oh, so Paul Ryan. I saw Jay type in capitals in the back saying standby audio. So I go, Ryan, there's audio coming. Ryan stopped talking and then Jay goes, nope, no audio, sorry.
So basically, what you're doing is, my guess is they're taking gaseous oxygen and methane at extremely high pressures and putting them through like a de Laval nozzle, and they're popping them out at supersonic speeds, and the high temperature and pressure causes it to ignite between them, and then that's where you get the loud. That little
The funny
pop
thing,
sound.
the funny thing of that, Ryan, is that they've been trying to remove more and more the igniters from those engines. Like Raptor 1, it used to have igniters on both preburners and also on the main combustion chamber. For Raptor 2, they removed the igniter on the main combustion chamber because both methane and oxygen already came in quite hot right? And at high pressures into the main combustion chamber. So it's sort of like auto ignition basically. So you don't need the igniter at all. And now like that's a step further, because now you don't even need a spark to ignite the gases methane and
Yeah.
oxygen on the
You
pre-burners.
put a supersonic jet flow through a converging nozzle. So basically and in that case, you're basically using just incredibly high pressure gas. So those COPVs are probably running at, I don't know, several thousand PSI, running the oxygen and methane out. And then that's how they're igniting, which means no moving parts, and all it needs is high pressure gas in order to ignite the engines. No spark, no nothing, no torch igniters. So if that's what they're using here, which kind of sounds like that, because it doesn't sound like a spark igniter, and it doesn't sound like a torch igniter at all. It does not sound like a spark. I know one when I hear one, because I've heard a high voltage spark igniters off jet engines, and that certainly wasn't one. That sounded like supersonic gases, if anything. So
We've got an awful lot of people turning up, probably because friends and family have said, there's been a test at Starbase, and that happens on the internet. People on Discords and whatever, you'll go, there's been a test, and people rush into the stream, and as a stream, we're streaming live. So for those people who are coming in and asking, what did I miss? What I've done is I've pinned what looks like an igniter test as a little 10-second clip. It's midway through the 10-second clip where you'll see the flash. That looks like an igniter test. So that's what's happened so far. They've had a full tanking for that test. They're now detanking, but they're still in a test day. Until the road opens, we're still in a test day. So there's every potential they could recycle for a static fire test today. It might be tomorrow, though. So there's no kind of like, we don't know. SpaceX don't put out a press release. They don't put out any notification. These days, low pressure notices are gone. They've gone because Boca Chica Village is no longer public. It's all like SpaceX employees now. So we have to really just keep an eye on things and just follow along. We can't rule it out, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But either way, until the road opens, we're in a test cycle. So far today, they've had a full load. They've had an igniter test. They're detanking. They might recycle and retank it again. Let me thank some more people, by the way, because I always make a point of making sure I thank these people. Alicia's done a big tip. One way of supporting us is tips. That's avoiding the YouTube thing. And that's to the entire team. Thank you for all the hard work. Thank you, Alicia. That's a big support as well. Very much appreciated. Crafty Geek, any chance they do 2 static fires? Greedy. With the main fuel load and with a prop recycle in the same day. You know what? Let's ask the question. Ryan, would there be any viable reason for them to do 2 static fire tests in a day? Can they even do that with the engines?
they have only done that. I don't even think they've done that since. I'm trying to remember.
SN9?
I think it was SN9 was the last time they did it, unless it was
5 years ago.
No. Wait, my bad. No, it was S20. Remember,
Oh,
S20
ship 20.
did one RVAC and then it did an RVAC and an RC. I think that's the last time they ever did 2 static fires in a single day on a vehicle. They could do it. Would they? Probably not. But I don't see why they couldn't if they wanted to. It takes like 2.5, 3 hours to fully detank this thing and safe it, which means you have to. The lucky thing is the load doesn't take that long, and from what we can see with the chill down, they can chill down the methane side in 1.5 hours now, which is hilarious. That's a quick chill down. I don't know how long the lock side takes because it's hard to measure it with how long the box fan was running. It was running for hours before they even started the methane side, but they could do it probably if they wanted to, but I don't think they will.
Hey, Ryan. I think Jake Egan has a screenshot, thanks to the SBL gang, our amazing SBL gang, of the flash itself. Here we are. Look
There
at
you
this. Oh, that's going to make people thinking, steady fire! Again, the clue is no deluge going. So there was never, when we saw the flash, although it makes you think static fire, it's never going to be a case with that deluge running.
Just saying. Because that wasn't a pre-burner. Pre-burner, I think, would have been far more energetic, or at least that you would have had more flames coming out, even with just the DSS running. But like that was if that was really just igniters, like that was powerful. That's just 10 engines. If they did all 10, imagine an all 33 engine igniter test, which we might like. They may go through that, and they may go through a wet dress rehearsal and just do an igniter test off the 33 engines or something. That would be nuts.
The thing, the context here is that's a screenshot. When we were showing it live, you'll see in the clip, it was literally just like not a millisecond, but it was a very short flash. It wasn't.
Питання. Вони створюють хвилі на воді. Не дають спокою.
Good screenshot of a flash there. Oh, we're getting a replay now, just to show you what we mean by the flash, compared to, something longer. Wait for it. Literally, it's a case of blink and you'll miss it. There it is. I don't know how my timing and my voice is compared to the latency of the internet coming through to you, but as I was watching it there it was. But going, Chris, you're a bit slow. No, it's just this latency.
It's funny because you were talking about the acoustic igniters, Ryan, and it reminded me